Hey, I'm Tommy Zman, and this is for Cigar Advisor Magazine. I'm an editor at large, and I meet a lot of cool people in this business. And you know what? I've got one of the coolest here. And people will ask me a lot of times, you know, when you're in a cigar bar or something, they go to, hey, is that a Cuban? Well, yeah, I got one today. And
I'm a Cuban.
Rafael Nodal, not
Rafael Nodal.
the tennis player.
The tennis player. He's trying to imitate me. I heard that, but no. Yeah.
Where did you grew up in Cuba?
I grew up in Cuba.
Where in Cuba?
I was born in Ciego de Avila, which is a small town, part of the province.
I couldn't say that like you do, but
yeah, no, it's I make it look sexy. You cannot dress like sexy. Ciego de Avila, and but I came to the United States in 1980. So I was 15 at the time, by the way, if you're adding, you know, I was 15
now, was
at
that
the
Mariel Boatlift?
The Mariel Boatlift.
So you came over in that.
If you've seen the
amazing.
movie Scarface, which, by the way, I saw a couple of years ago for the first time. I wasn't ready to see it, but I did see it a couple of years ago. And that's in the movie, part of it at the beginning when people come in boats, and that's where I came.
Wow. I know a few people that did. So you come here, and now I know Raphael a little bit. We've done some interviews with the IPCPR and stuff. And the one thing you'll know about him when you hear him talk and you talk to him, you are so passionate. And that's what everybody says about you. If I say, you know, oh, he's the most passionate guy. And I know if I talk to you about food, you go off the deep end passionate. If we talk about wine and drink, we talk about music. But then there's cigars. So a lot of people love cigars. A lot of people have passion cigars. And a lot of people will write me online and Facebook and stuff and say, how do I get into cigars? How do I get into making cigars? And that's just not that easy.
It is not.
So how did you decide, you know what, I want to make cigars? What was that point?
Well, actually, my family used to grow tobacco in Cuba for a long time, about 2 or 3 generations. I meet my wife. Her family used to grow tobacco for about 3 generations. But I was not. I studied music. I was not living in that part because the tobacco growing region in Cuba is mostly Pinar del Rio, which is right on the corner,
Right.
and that's where the best tobacco comes. I was not living there. I was part of the family that was growing in Tecama Way. I come to this country, and as an immigrant, I did whatever I have to do. I studied music all my life. But a friend of mine, which is now my partner, Hank Bishop, said, Raph, you need to come and meet this guy that reminds me of you. I was already in healthcare. I've been to music. I was running hospitals. And I go and have
At what age was that?
This was on 1999. And I go and I meet this guy for lunch. And who do you think it is? Nick Perdomo.
Oh, really?
And Hank told me it reminds me of you, and we had lunch with Nick, and that was my first introduction, believe it or not, to the cigar industry. Okay. Because of that, I started selling cigars on the internet in a website that we created. But then I met all these cool people and great people that I admire so much in the cigar industry. And again, I was coming from healthcare where every business you have to do with lawyers and things and attorneys and all these things, contracts. And I met all these people that were so honorable and they were doing so great entrepreneurial. And the tobacco allowed me to have my creative uses, you know. So you have the blending, the cooking, just talk about wine. But everything you do in life has to do with passion. Mm-hmm. And the cigar industry is one that a lot of people really have passion. And I do have passion, like you said. The cigar has allowed me to put together all these things, meeting people, interesting people like you, learning about some other people, and that's what the cigar has allowed me to do.
One more thing on passion. You're into a lot of different things that are passionate. I'm into a lot of passion. Cigar smokers generally are.
Absolutely.
What is it about cigars that just grabs you by the you-know-what and brings you in and just touches your soul? I mean, really, what is it? Because it does.
It does. It is hard to say, and I don't think I have the answer. All I can tell you is that when you talk about cigars, there's a lot of traditions about it. Mm-hmm. Hey, when Columbus came to the Americas, that's one of the first things he saw. So this has been here. It's one of the, if you think about it, it's one of the few things that are originally from the Americas. Yeah. So that is in our blood. But then the whole culture about it, the creativity of putting these blends together, and I'm not sure what it is, but I can tell you, just like in wines and things, other things that I've seen, But once people get into tobacco, there's so much to learn, and there's so much history and so much pleasure. I find myself sometimes when I'm in a place that I cannot even smoke, I find myself holding a cigar, and I tell my kids, this feels like a security blanket. I feel great having a cigar, just the whole history.
That's how I say when
is.
I'm in a car. I say it's like having a friend with me.
Absolutely. And then let me tell you, because I do travel a lot around the world selling cigars, and one of the things that breaks all barriers is smoking a cigar.
Absolutely.
You can go to Moscow, you can go to Budapest, you can be in Prague, even in Japan and Tokyo today, and cigars unite people. So my thing is, if we were able to smoke more cigars, the world will be a better place, and we will have less war, because when two people sit down and smoke a cigar, you find so many things in common.
I say if everybody smoked a cigar on Earth, other than kids, there'd be
Right.
no more wars. This would be one hell of a place.
Absolutely, absolutely, and and seriously, we're kidding about that, but that is one thing that is so gentlemanlike. It's something that it relaxes you, that makes you stop and think. And the truth is, we don't have a lot of time these days to stop and think and smell the roses.
Yeah.
Well, don't smell the roses, smell the cigar.
Rafael Nodal, he's here for Cigar Advisor. We get all the best guys in. Hey, thanks so much for coming in,
Thank you
my
very much,
friend.
Tommy, for having me here,
Yep.
and I'm glad to be here.
Thanks. We'll see you next time, guys.